prince is holding a ball. Rumour has it he is seeking a wife.
Mother?
Stepmother.
Permit me to go to the prince's ball?
Cinderella, I really do not want to beat you.
Your fairy godmother at your service.
It can't be.
I was beginning to lose hope.
But you are dazzling.
You'll see me again. But for now, I have to leave.
The prince would never knowingly marry a lowly wench such as yourself. Give it a try.
Madam, your foot's too big.
Those three are pure evil.
I want them to suffer just as much as I have.
This mask will give you the strength and power to kill those who wish you harm. Cinderella's revenge. How sweet it'll be.
This is Kate Sanderson, horror actress based in the UK. Please check out Gruesome Herzog's interviews and reviews. They are awesome.
This is actress Nicola Wright from the UK. Please check out Gruesome Herzog's interviews and reviews. They are awesome.
This is actor Stephanie Lodge from the UK. Please check out Gruesome Herzog's interviews and reviews. They are awesome.
Hello, everyone. This is Gruesome Herzog. My very special guest is actress Stephanie Lodge. She was the evil stepmother in Cinderella's Revenge, and what a performance that she did. Stephanie, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Very warm. It's very hot today in the UK.
Yeah, it's a little bit warm here too. I came across you quite a few movies, as we talked about off the air. You know, like Don't Speak and Bad Nun, Deadly Vows. We're going to start a little earlier, and then the film that I really want to talk about at the end is Cinderella's Revenge, because that movie turned out better than what I thought it was going to be like. Honest to God. So, first of all, I want to talk to you about is a Bad Nun, Deadly Vows. Obviously, that is I guess it's pronounced Nicola, but I always say Nicola.
Oh, Nikki, yeah. We call her Nikki, but yeah, I've done quite a lot with her. She's great.
Yes. Bad Nun, Deadly Vows. I absolutely enjoyed that one. I think it's a little bit better than the first one.
Yeah.
And talk to me. What was it like for your experience in that one?
Yeah, that was, I think it was the second horror film where I'd had quite a big part. So it was lots of fun, really great cast and crew. We all just got on so well. And I think it was actually just a few months before the lockdown hit, I think. It was that year. It all kind of blends into one now. But yeah, no, lots of fun. I won't say any spoilers, obviously, about what happens in it. But yeah, because it was more of because Don't Speak was before that one. I think Bad Nun was more, it was more of a slasher kind of one, more Scream style, because I loved Scream as a teenager. So it was kind of fun to have that element of it, more of a whodunit kind of style horror.
And that's what I think what really impressed me the most. The first one, my nephew and I watched it. We reviewed it on the Puke 'em Up podcast, but that's in hiatus right now. But we really enjoyed the Bad Nun. And then, of course, when you see one, you want to see the other ones. So when I watched Deadly Vows, I'm thinking, man, they stepped it up. You know, they stepped it up quite different from the first one, but it crosses over into the second one. But my goodness, that nun is relentless.
I know. And I think the great one about the second one is it kind of stands alone as well. Like, you don't necessarily have to have seen the first one. So it's kind of a nice, you can watch both, but also you can also just watch the second one as well.
Right. You don't really have to watch the first one. Well, maybe. You mean that the beginning part of 2 has a tail end, continue on from the first one, but you won't quite understand why the nun wants this girl dead. But Again, I enjoyed the Bad Nun, and I even watched Bad Nun 3, and they even took it to the next level in that one as well, which I really enjoyed.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet, so I need to check it out.
Yeah. And now the next one I haven't seen yet, but I've seen it around, is The Mermaid's Curse. I don't know how, I have to watch it, but I don't know how they're going to pull off a mermaid. But you played Holly. So what was it like compared from Bad Nun? I mean, of course, it's not going to be in numeral order because of the COVID thing, but what was your experience like in The Mermaid's Curse now?
Yeah, so that was actually my very first horror film I'd done. So, and yeah, it was just a little part in that one, I think. But it was, and it was in a place called Worthing, which is kind of near to Brighton, which I think is more famous seaside town in the southeast of London, or southwest. I can't remember. My geography is really bad. And I had to get in the sea at about 1 a.m. at night. And it was so cold, really, really cold. But it was, again, really fun experience. A lot of blood.
Yeah, I really got to check that one out. I haven't. I mean, Scott Jeffries and all of them produce movies like crazy. And I enjoy that because I always have something to watch. I'll see a bunch of movies with you in it. I'll see a bunch of movies with Nicola in it and May Kelly and all of them. And it's just fun because obviously there's chemistry there because you work with Nicola one movie. It makes it easier to do it in another movie, And I think that's one of the reasons why some of these movies, they might not have the best budgets, whatever, which I don't care about that. But if you have the chemistry and the good acting, you can pull it off. And he's done a lot of them that way where he just pulled them right off.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was great. I mean, that was it was Scott and Louisa who did that one. It was under Louisa's company. And then after that, Scott got in touch and was like, can you do a little self-tape for the lead role in? And that was Don't Speak. So I did that because it was with an American accent. I think actually I was doing American in the Mermaid film as well. But he got me to do a tape, and then he offered me the role for Don't Speak. And then
I love that. I love that one. Do the American accent. I love it. Now you talked about Don't Speak. That's one of the early ones that I've found from Scott, the companies and stuff. And that's what really got me hooked. Bad Nun was the first one, and Don't Speak was the second one that I watched. Mm-hmm. And now Don't Speak has the quiet one, the American film over here.
Yeah.
But it has a different story and a creepier creature.
Yeah.
I like Don't Speak. I really did. You had the trailer, you had a little camper right there, and you have, I love the scenery in England, because it's so different than over here. So I think that's one of the reasons why I get hooked on the British films is because I don't see that scenery every day. You guys feel the same way on our films, as well. But Don't Speak, you mentioned about you played Rita, and I think one of the most creepiest scenes in this movie was when they went to, was it the bar? And it was like the town's like dead quiet, nothing going on. And I thought that's what really brought this film out. Then when a creature made an appearance, and then of course it can't see, you have to be quiet. And you know how it is. Somebody's bound to make a noise and somebody's bound to die. But what was your experience in Don't Speak?
Yeah, again, just I always have such a good time on the films with Scott and Becky as well, who has got her own company as well now. And again, just a really great team. That was my first time working with Nicola, actually. She was playing my mum. And just a lot of fun. I think that one was over a slightly longer period. Sometimes we do them in a week, and that one I think we was about 10 days maybe, which is still obviously a really fast turnaround for a feature film. But it was actually filmed in the summer, I think in like June. But we were in this kind of country house that was really cold. So at night we did a lot of night shoots.
Yes.
We were chasing the darkness, so we were like sometimes filming into the night and the sun was rising and we were like no we need the dark. So So yeah, but I also had to, in that film, you'll probably remember I was in a barrel of cold, muddy water. It was actually
Yes.
a barrel of tea, cold tea. So my second horror film when I was immersed in water in the freezing cold again. But yeah, no, again, a lot of fun, a lot of blood. So.
You're a gamer. That's what you need. I'm an actor too, a voice actor as well, and I get it. We have to do things that we don't want to do, but if we want to make it, we have to do it. And it's part of the game. Low budget films, you got to do things to make it work, and that's just the way it is. And
yeah,
that's
the thing. These kind of projects, it's as they always say at the beginning, like, it's fast paced. Everyone's just got to kind of work together as a team, and that's what's really great. It's not for everyone to be in a kind of low budget film that's going to be filmed in a really short space of time, because you've got to be on it with your lines. If you've got an accent, like in that film we were all doing American actually, and if you were on like a big budget feature film, you'd probably have a dialect coach and you'd have a lot more rehearsal time, and of course, so it's just really being prepared to just go for it, and you just have to immerse yourself in it, because really long days. But again, it's just so worth it. It's just such a team kind of social kind of spirit when you're on set. So yeah, great.
Yeah, and not only that, in some cases you can improv. I mean, some of your character as well when it comes to that, because I'm very good at that myself. Now, I've talked to Nicola, and then I interviewed Kate. I also interviewed the writer. Scott, I can't remember his name now. It's crazy. Anyways, Medusa seemed to be popping up on all my interviews with Nicola was in one, and oh my god, my memory is terrible.
Yeah, I was just like because I listened to Kate's interview, and I also was just in that as a little kind of cameo as a cult leader member, and so I'm a photographer as well. So I was taking some photos for Scott on set, and then he said, "Oh, do you want to be in? We need some like kind of cameos for cult leaders, cult team members, or whatever we were called." And so that's why I agreed to do that. I was like, "Yeah, that's fine. It's lots of fun." So so I didn't really. I think I had a couple of lines in it, but I wasn't supposed to be in the film originally.
Right. Now, Antonio Johnstone. Also was a cult member, and I didn't see her before until I watched Monsters of War and also Rise of the Mummy. And she played a nun in the Monsters of War, and she was brilliant, and then I seen her in the Rise of the Mummy. We're going to talk about that briefly, but Kate Sanderson, it's amazing how Nicola and Kate, how they love what they do, but they're the nicest people to talk to. Same goes for you. It's just fun to be able to talk, and I like to hear experiences on film sets, because I have plenty myself, of course. But I have not seen Medusa. I have to get my butt in gear and move it up a little quicker, because there's so many. But you had a great cast in here. Megan Purvis. Sarah T. Cohen, and they're everywhere, and it's great to see all these films that I always say, like, these films are like the Sci-Fi Channel in a sense, because they're made just as fast. They're not taken to be like major serious, but they're fun. Now, the one of the films that really shocked me is Rise of the Mummy. I kind of passed on it quite a few times, not because I wasn't interested, but then when I talked to Kate, and then I'm thinking, let's watch this. And that movie turned out better than what I thought it was going to be. I was really shocked by that.
That was post-COVID. It was just after things were opening up, so it was really strict with like masks and what we could do on set, so like limited kind of I think like we couldn't have anyone doing our own. We had to do our own makeup and everything, so it was all very strict. And we had a very, very short amount of time. I think that was done in like 5 or 6 days.
Really?
Yeah,
That's impressive. I mean, for the quality of the film, I wasn't sure how the Mummy was going to turn out on this, because it's hard to do that. Really, it is.
Yeah.
But I was shocked. You played Grace, and I said, it's just so much fun with you guys together. I mean, it's nice to be able to watch a film. I mean, I can repeat myself over and over. When I watch a movie and I recognize the cast members, I can relate to other movies they were in and get an idea of how they're going to pull it off on this one. And the whole cast was phenomenal. I really enjoy. I'm not kidding you. I just reviewed it and I was really impressed of how this movie turned out.
Yeah. Oh, great. Yeah, it was a fun one to do, especially because it was probably the first thing a lot of us had done since being locked down. So
yeah. Now the next one was another one that Conjuring the Genie. I reviewed both of them, part 2 as well. The Conjuring the Genie, again, I wasn't sure, but when I seen the opening scene of her in the living room and her mom was down and she went upstairs and then you hear this voice, whatever, with this genie, and it got me hooked. And how these films are made with these characters like the Mummy and the Genie and Medusa and the mermaid. It's cool to see these costumes that they use. They're not like super Hollywood. I mean, some of the suits do come from Hollywood. I do know that. But again, the Genie one was good. It had my interest. And I was just curious of how the kills would happen. It's kind of weird when you're not watch horror movies. You're always curious of how they're going to kill some of the characters. What was your experience like in Conjuring the Genie?
Yeah, that was a really fun character to play, actually, because I was playing the flirty mum who was trying to flirt with the teacher to get my son on the football team. So yeah, it was nice to do something a little bit different, because I think in both Don't Speak and The Nun, Bad Nun, I had played just kind of your everyday mum. This one, it was just a bit more fun, so a bit more to it. So yeah, it's good.
Now, I've never seen it, but Beneath the Surface, you played a character of Vicky. What was that like for you?
Yeah, so that was very different because it's more of a psychological thriller than a horror, really. It's again, I was playing a stepmom, a kind of an evil stepmom again, but not quite as evil as in Cinderella's Revenge. But yeah, again, I won't spoil too much, about the end, especially if you will watch it. But I was a bit more to it as well. Something she was maybe not. Yeah, I don't want to say too much, but again, it was just something to get your teeth into a little bit more. She wasn't just your kind of nice mum. She was, typical.
That's funny.
So.
Oh my goodness! Now I haven't seen this one either. You played Olivia in Prototype. What was that like?
Yeah, so that again was quite a little. Oh, I'm not a cameo, but I was in the very beginning of that. So I didn't really act with anyone for my scenes. But I was on set. I took some photos for Scott for that one as well. So I did kind of see a lot of the other characters and what they were doing. So, and that was really different as well, because it was, the robots, and I loved those costumes. They were really interesting and great to photograph. So that was, just a different kind of horror. That was, have you seen that one?
No, I haven't. I'm going to though.
Yeah.
And the next one I almost watched, but I decided to watch The Rise of the Mummy first, is Cerebrum.
Oh, yes.
You played Martha.
Yeah, so Cerebrum is outside of the kind of horror world that we've kind of spoke about, like with Scott and Becky and Louisa. Cerebrum, again, is kind of more of a psychological thriller, but I got that just before COVID, and then it got postponed, obviously, because of the lockdown. And then actually they ended up getting a much bigger budget for it. So it's, Yeah, it got made the year after. I was quite a small role in it, but quite prominent. Did you say you have seen it?
No, I have not. I'm going to watch it.
So that's that was very different because it was a completely different team of people. They did that over a month, so it was like a month of filming, and I just had 2 days, but one at the beginning of the shoot and one at the end, which was really nice to kind of come back to them and see. A really lovely independent kind of filmmaking team, Swedish, not Swedish, Swiss, Switzerland, from Switzerland. So and that was at Fright Fest in I think 2021 or 22. But again, it wasn't, when I auditioned for it, I didn't really realize it was gonna become like in the horror genre, because it was more of a written as a psychological thriller, but it's kind of gone into the horror market, and which is fine because I love it. I love being a scream queen, as they say. But that was one that was completely out of this world. So but it was really good fun to do.
Now there's another franchise, and you're also with Kate once again, and I haven't seen it. I have to get this trilogy watched. Is the Jack and Jill, The Hills of Hell?
Yeah,
I watched the trailer earlier this morning, and I really want to see this. You played a character of Joe.
Yes.
So what was your experience like in Jack and Jill?
So in that one, surprise, surprise, I was another mum. Seems to be my typecast, mum roles. And we were filming that mostly outside, actually around the same area where Medusa was filmed, in the kind of caravan park site, this lovely kind of very scenic area, and in lots of kind of woodland and stuff. So again, very cold. I think that was at winter time. I think it was like November or December. And I think that was quite a short shoot as well. So quite, intense. And Scott and Becky were not on set for that one. So it was, it felt very different not having them there, but the team were great again. So I think we always just feel very lucky that we always have some really lovely people on the crew. So that was nice.
Now, the one we're going to talk about is probably one of the ones that really brought you out, is Cinderella's Revenge. I'd seen the Cinderella's Curse as well afterwards. And it was weird to see two Cinderella movies at the same time from the same country, different companies. And one's Revenge and one's a Curse.
Yeah.
Now, what's cool about the Revenge movie, I'm going to say it because is how Cinderella got to the ball. That was so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not expecting it at all. The opening scene of Cinderella's Revenge is the evil stepmother had her father killed. And you played Katherine, and my opinion, this is your best performance to date.
Oh, thank you very much. I really loved it.
One, it's a bigger role, and you rocked stepmom. You were phenomenal in here. I mean, to see the evil, crooked, nasty bitch of a character, you rocked it.
Yeah.
Now, what was the experience of Cinderella's Revenge, and what was it like? It went to a festival. Am I correct? Or it had a theater release for a little bit, did it not?
Yes, in LA. Yeah, that it was released over there. Yeah, so it hasn't actually been released over here yet. So we've actually only just been able to watch it. We've had a link sent through, but it's not out in the UK. I think that's coming later on. But that was probably one of my favorite roles. It was just so much fun and great to do a period piece as well, like the costumes, like when the ball costumes, and just generally just doing something a bit different, and also just having that kind of solid Cinderella story that already exists
Yes.
So you know that the storyline is good because it's Cinderella, and then just adding the kind of horror twist to it and what happens kind of beyond the ball. So yeah, it was great fun. I think we had 10 days on that, so a little bit longer than the kind of week that we usually get.
Yeah.
So yeah, and quite a big cast as well. Well, including like when we did the ball scenes, obviously there was like a lot more people around. So yeah, really good fun. Like, yeah, such a great role to get my teeth into. So yeah, I was really pleased.
Now, as actors, I mean, when you have to be mean to another actress or an actor, and she's such a sweetheart. Is it Lauren? Is that her name, Lauren?
Yeah, Lauren.
And for you to, I mean, yes, it's acting, and I get it, but to treat her like you did, I mean, it's like, God, I hope she don't take me serious. You know what I mean? Because you were so convincing, so monstrous. I mean, your daughters are bitches too. I mean, it was just, when I say that, I don't mean they are. I mean, just you guys made the movie. It's I loved it.
I wonder where they got it from. Obviously from their mum. So, but yeah, no, it was like I did like. I mean, yeah, Lauren's lovely, as are B and Meg, who played the sisters as well. So you know, but I think. Yeah, you just know, obviously, when the camera goes on, it's like, no, it's fine, anything goes now. So, and you know, she did get her revenge. I won't, obviously, no spoilers, but we know where it's going with a title like that. So, but I mean, we had an amazing fight scene, me and Lauren. We had a fight director on set with us, so that was really fun, really tiring. And like the next day, we were like, our thighs were killing from just all that. But yeah, no, that was, it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Not to mention your death scene.
Yeah. And that actually was, I think, the very last scene we shot of the film. Obviously, it's very unusual for you to do it. You know, we didn't do all of it in order, but that happened to be the last one we did. So we wrapped the film.
I'm pretty sure that movie is in your collection. I'm pretty sure it's going to be in your collection. That's one of the ones that you can show forever, because your performance was brilliant in there, and I would like to see you in more movies. Not like Cinderella, but I want to see you in more movies like that, to take that lead, to take that evilness.
Yeah,
and you're just absolutely brilliant in there, and that's one of my favorites. That's in my collection. I really enjoyed that one.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah,
no problem.
It's great.
And you know, my niece, she's 18, and she wants to watch them both, and she wants to do a podcast with me. Because, you know, girls, she loves Cinderella. So I really want to get her taste on it. So once you get them both watched, we're going to do an episode, and then I'll send it to you if you listen to. But I really want her aspect on it. I want to see what she has to say. It's going to be fun, you know. But you have a couple of movies that's in the can right now that's coming up. You want to talk about?
Not horror, but I actually did with Becky, Rebecca Matthews, who is like, you know, has proportion with Scott, but then her separate company, EMRJ Entertainment, is who co-produced Cinderella, and she made, it's her film. I was in a unicorn film. I think I'm trying to remember the full title. Tale of the Forest Unicorn.
Tale of the Forest Unicorn.
Yeah, so I think that's still in post-production at the moment. And yeah, it's a family film. So it's I mean, you know, unicorn, obviously it's a family film. But that was so nice to do something with Becky that was just very different. Just really, and again, a really fun character to play. Just a sort of supporting role in that one. But yeah, so that, I'm not sure when that's coming out. I think it'll be either later this year or early next year. But yeah, that's the only thing I
love Becca Harani.
Yeah,
Becca Harani was in The Nun, of course, the first one. She's also a director.
Yeah.
I think one of the most recent ones I've seen her in was the crocodile. It's a crocodile movie. That she was in.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I think is Vicky in that one as well. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think she might be.
Yeah,
there's so many. It's hard to keep up, isn't it?
It is. I've seen so many of them, but I'd watch this in a heartbeat, and I know my niece definitely would watch it. So I'll be looking forward to check it out.
Yeah.
You have two other ones that are, let's see if we can get in here real quick. The Units, you played Liz. That's a short film. What was that about?
Unit. Oh, so yeah, that was a short film by an independent filmmaker, and that was actually set in the north of England, where I'm from, in Yorkshire, South Yorkshire. Set in Sheffield, which is one of the biggest cities in South Yorkshire. And it was kind of set in this kind of power station, not in the power station. Sorry, I'm not explaining this very well. It was basically, I was a mum again, and I was a police officer, and my husband, and we had a little girl, and my husband was a kind of climate change activist, and there was a protest about the power plant, and how it was all the kind of emissions and all of that, and there was a protest going on, and the kind of, I guess the crux of it is when he turns up at a protest and I come as a police officer and I have to arrest him. But the point of the film really is about the effect it has on our young daughter, because she is doing a project about our jobs and what we do. And then she, in this chaos of what happens, we forget to pick her up from school, and she walks home on her own. And I think she was about like 8 or 9 or something. We were supposed to pick her up, and then so it's, with it being a short, obviously it's all resolved quite quickly, but it was just like a little bit of a kind of a bit of a message about different parents with different views and how they kind of come together, and
I did 2 short films too, and I got nominated for best comedy actor, but even though it's a horror, but you know how that goes. And there's one more. There's one more I want to talk to you about. It hasn't been released either. I think it was completed on March 26th, but it's called The Looking Glass. You played a character of Helen. Are you able to speak about this movie or not?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've actually seen the full version of it. This was quite a long time ago, so it was in post for quite a while, and half of the film was in, I can't remember if it was Cantonese or Mandarin, because it was a Chinese filmmaker. And so half of it was in English and half of it was in, I feel it might have been Cantonese, but I wasn't around for obviously all of that part of it. I was just there for my scenes. So I'd never seen the whole script either, because it was mainly in a language I can't read or understand. So I don't actually know, really. I can't really tell you the whole story of the film, and I've never seen it. But I think, again, because it was like an independent project, and then I guess COVID delayed so many things, and just for a lot of reasons. So I'm not actually sure where. I think it is completed now. Yeah, you're right. I think we did get that update on IMDb, but I've not yet seen it, so I don't know what's happening with that. So it'll be interesting, one day to maybe see.
Yeah. Awesome. So I mean, it was fun to have you on. I mean, it's the movies that you were in, I've seen some of them, and I really enjoyed them. But once again, I think Cinderella's Revenge is what really is going to put you name out there farther, only because you're the evil stepmother.
Yeah. Thank you.
You really can't get away from that. But yeah, it was interesting movie. I really enjoyed that one. So is there anything that's not listed that you are possibly in the future working on, or before I let you go?
Not at the moment. I've actually spent my summer doing some plays, so a bit of theatre back on the CV, which has been nice. But yeah, nothing else coming up at the moment, but who knows? You never know. Hopefully.
Right. You might get a phone call. Scott calling you.
Yeah.
So have you seen the Winnie the Pooh movies yet?
I haven't, no. So because the second one, I think you can now order it, but I couldn't make
Yeah.
the premiere. I did get an invite to the premiere, but I actually live in Manchester now, in the north of England, so I'm not in London anymore, so I couldn't go
Right.
down, which is really sad. But I haven't yet watched the first one, but so I think I probably, because you can rent that one, I'll probably just watch that first, and then when the second one, I might just order it, or if there are any more screenings anywhere, then maybe, yeah.
Because I really enjoyed both of them too. I mean, the second one obviously had more money because it got really popular.
Yeah.
From the first one. And I'm actually seeing a third one now, because the third one's going to have all the characters, Pinocchio and all them, and I'm really excited to see that one. But here in America, I think Winnie the Pooh 2 was in my neighborhood. I think it showed for like 3 days in the theater. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's done so well. I mean, yeah, Scott's worked so hard on all of the ones that are coming up as well, like Bambi's coming out, and I think they've just done the Neverland one, or the Peter Pan one. So yeah,
Bambi, and oh my goodness, Bambi's coming out.
Yeah, which of course Nicky's in as well. So
Pinocchio. It's really gonna be cool. Hopefully, maybe we'll see you in some of these nursery rhyme horror movies, but who knows?
Yeah, it would be fun. Yeah.
Well, you're in one already, so I mean that's
yeah.
I mean that was I mean you probably get tired of hearing it, but you were phenomenal in there, and I think that's really gonna, if I mention your name, to people who've seen it, they're gonna know exactly who you are and what part you played, and that should be that should make you happy. I mean, you actually made something that people can actually recognize you from. Yeah. So.
Oh, thank you.
Well, it's great having you on. I mean,
thank you for having me on.
Yeah, it was fun talking to you. Who knows in the future, if you get like 10 more films out there, maybe we'll do it again.
Yeah, definitely.
But I want to give you special thanks for coming on, and thanks for responding to me. It was an honor to have you on here, and I really appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much, Scott. Thank you. You have a great night, okay? Yeah, you too. You take care. We'll see you. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye.
You knew I would come back.
Pop her down and then chuck some of these boxes inside, will you?
What do you think that can be?
I'll bet it.
Hello?
Hello?
I've brought you a moving in gift.
They were left outside.
Identify yourself, please.
The sinners will be named for their crimes. Justice will be served.